Not having a training split and routine that you can actually stick to and enjoy might be the reason why you're not making progress right now. 4 years ago when I was 16 years old, I never had a training split. I never had a routine. So I used to always jump from exercise to exercise and workout to workout. And that's also the reason why I made progress very, very slow. Now I have a set training routine and workout split that makes me progress every single week. So let's get into it. First off, why do we need a workout split and routine? That is because it actually eliminates friction. Now, what is training friction, right? Because friction is very popular in the productivity world and the self-improvement world, but friction also occurs in a training routine. Now, friction is basically when you have to go through a bunch of bullshit to get to what you actually want to do. That is called friction. So how do we eliminate as much friction as we can to be able to make progress week by week by week? When it comes to calisthenics, as I already covered in multiple videos, you have to treat it like a marathon. And if you're going to treat it like a marathon, you need a long-term plan. So having a split is crucial to eliminate friction and to actually not leave any gains on the table. So let's talk about it. What is the most common friction that we get when it comes to building a routine and when it comes to just working out in general? Can you guess it? It's not knowing what exercises to do in what order. So imagine you had a bunch of workouts in the week laid out, ready for you to do, and you do not need to think about what you're actually going to do because it's already laid out in front of you, ready to go. How easy would that be for you? It would be very easy because that would mean that you're actually making progress and that you're actually sticking to something that works instead of something that doesn't work and then that does work and then switching to this, to this, to this. It just simply does not work. So I'm going to go over my personal training split and what I've always been doing for the past year in order to gain muscle, the maximum amount of muscle that I've ever gained in my training journey. And I've been working out for 6 years total. So my training split consists out of 6 days a week of work. So when it comes to my first day, which is workout A, I have basically workout A, B, and C. And I basically use that training. And I basically use these 3 workouts in a routine over and over again, 6 days in a week. So workout number A is basically where I train my chest, back, and my shoulders. And sometimes it's only chest and back. And I'm going to get into why that is. Then we have day number 2, and that's going to be arm day. Because I have lagging arms, I've always had lagging arms in my physique. Right now, they're not really lagging no more because I do this split, but I always used to have lagging arms. Now, the reason why I've been able to get that up there is because I dedicated a full arm day in my training split. So I basically have the workout B, right? The workout A is going to be chest and back or shoulders sometimes. Workout B is always going to be arms and shoulders or just arms. And I'm going to get into why we all need to switch that up sometimes. Then the third day is just legs, and I repeat those workouts week by week by week. And that's just 6 days a week of training. Very simple. Now, why should you have a chest, back, and shoulder day into your routine where you're basically going to be doing all the big compounds? Because having a day where you just focus on your big compounds builds a shit ton of muscle and strength. When you, for example, do a full workout with pike pull-ups, dips, push-ups, basically big compound movements that you need to do for calisthenics to gain muscle, you are going to build quicker than if you would do a bunch of compounds here, then a bunch of isolation here, and a bunch of there. You need to build a overall intense routine, and you do that by actually having a full day where you're going to be training fucking everything. And I'm talking about literally everything. Basically a full upper body workout without isolating. That's basically what my day 1 of workout looks like. Then we have day number 2, which is a dedicated arm day. Now, I have a dedicated arm day in there because, as I said, my arms are kind of lagging. I don't really have a good genetic strong point in my arms or whatever. And for some people, having a dedicated arm day will not work and it's not necessary. But for me, it actually made a lot of sense that I actually had one day where I was putting as much blood into both areas of my arms as I fucking could in order to gain muscle. So basically, if you do not really have like a lag area in your arms or whatever, or your arms are kind of fine and they always just grow naturally through other shit, you don't really have to have a full dedicated arm day in your routine. For me, it just worked very well because my arms were always lagging and now I actually see progress in the size of them. That's basically it. And then the third day, leg day, very simple. I basically do very simple exercises such as you would do in the gym or at home, basically. Basic exercises like squats, lunges, Bulgarians, stuff like that. And I repeat those exercises. Now, first off, training splits are only very useful when you actually know how to progress with exercises. If you do not know how to actually progress with the exercises that you have selected in your routine, a training split would not make sense for you. You need to first select the right type of exercises for you. So for me, that has always been the weighted push-up, the weighted dip, by the way, now only on rings, the weighted push-up, the weighted dip, weighted pull-up, the elevated pipe push-up, and what else? a bunch of arm exercises with dumbbells and with rings, lateral raises, ring upright rows, and then all the leg exercises. So I don't really have a lot of exercises in my selection. That's also because I train at home and I like to get more out of less weight and more out of less equipment and out of less variation in general. So that is something that you should do as well. If you do not know how to progress with each and every exercise, you should focus first on getting real good exercise selected, and then you're going to actually create a routine. Now, if you want to create a full routine with this exact split that got me jacked, check the top link in the description. I basically lay it out in there. I hold your hand and I basically create the full routine for you, with you. You're going to be writing everything down and you basically get to start the next day. So go ahead and get there right now. It's going to change your life. A split should be enjoyable. A lot of people are going to go against this advice here, but I think that instead of just focusing on the most effective thing that you can do in a most effective split, you should focus on the most enjoyable split for you that you can actually stick to. If you're going to be doing a split, let's say you hate push-pull legs like me. I hate push-pull legs. I don't like it at all. I like this split that I'm doing right now because every single day I actually enjoy the workouts that I'm doing. If you hate push-pull legs and day number one, you're already dreading to do it and you haven't even finished the whole week yet, do you think that you're going to stay consistent with that for a year straight? You're not. You're going to be skipping workouts. You're going to be skipping days and you're not going to be enjoying the overall process of going to your dream physique. You're not going to be enjoying the shit. So stop training with a split that you do not actually enjoy. You need to train with a split that you genuinely just enjoy to do and you love every single day of working out. Now, for me, I love mixing in push and pull in one session. I do that on my chest, back, and shoulder day, and I do that on my arm day. So I literally have, in my opinion, the most beautiful and enjoyable split ever because I just fucking love it, right? Now, the third day, yes, everybody hates leg day, bro. I don't like leg day, but it's only one day. And then after that, I get to train chest and back again. It's fine, right? So that's why I like this routine. I like this split. So I really enjoy it. So that's why I'm able to progress with it. And this is, by the way, the exact split that you're going to be using when you actually purchase the Jacked by Calisthenics course. So everything is going to be laid out in there. Now, the reason why sometimes I actually swap out in my chest and back day, why I actually sometimes I have shoulders added to it, or sometimes I have shoulders added to the arm day, because of course you can't skip shoulders. You're going to get a weird ass physique, right? And I've always been skipping shoulders because I don't like shoulder training. But now that I've added it in one of these workouts, I actually really enjoy it. So usually in my chest and back day, I have one big compound that focuses on the overhead shoulder movement, right? Such as elevated pike push-ups. That's usually what I have in there. And then on the second day, which is called the bro day, where you basically just isolate, I have been picking exercises that perfectly pump blood into my side delts to get that round look. And I've been progressing with that as of late, basically. So really choose for yourself. If you have shoulders that grow fine, right? You don't really be needing to put them in the big upper body day. You have to only put them in the shoulder day, in the bro day. You could just isolate them a couple times and it's fucking fine, right? If your shoulders grow like that, then you don't really need to put the crazy amount of volume that I have to put on it to grow them. You just have to be smart with the type of workout that you actually do. Isolate them a couple times a week, 2 times a week, maybe 8 sets in total a week, maybe 6, and you're fine, right? But for me, sometimes I like to add them in on both days, or I add them in on one of the days, and on one of the days, I really prioritize them also. Now, you do not want to focus on entirely different exercises with each and every exercise. You do not want to, let's say, swap out the push-up for a incline Smith machine press all of a sudden, right? You want to be sticking to certain exercises that you have selected, but pick different variations within those exercises. And a variation could, for example, be pausing at the bottom, or dead stopping at the top, or basically going deeper than you would usually go. That's all variations of a certain exercise, and that is how you should actually progress. That is, in my opinion, the best way to progress, instead of just adding weight every single time. So for example, on the pull-up, I do sometimes chin-ups, sometimes wide grip pull-ups, and sometimes just regular normal bar pull-ups. But I never switch out the exercise. It's always going to be pull-ups when I do pull-ups. Same thing with rows. Sometimes I do them a little bit more for rear delt if I feel like I need that, and sometimes I just really do them for the lats if I need that. It's really just progressing with each and every variation that I'm able to do within these exercises, instead of swapping it out for a completely different exercise. Very, very crucial that you follow that. Then minimal exercise selection plus the focus per exercise is results. Now, what do I mean with that? In your upper body day, you're not supposed to have 20 fucking exercises written down. You're supposed to have like 4 or 5 exercises maximum for your chest and your back that are going to be prioritized throughout that workout. That is throughout that workout. That is what you should do, right? And the reason why that is because if you have 20 exercises in your arm day or in your leg day or in your chest and back day, you're not going to be making progress very, very quickly. And that is because you have to keep track of everything, and it's going to be really hard. And also, if you start with one exercise, let's say the first ever exercise you do in a workout, right, is going to be push-ups. Then 30 exercises later, you're going to be doing dips. Do you think that the dips are still going to be done proper after doing already 30 exercises? No, it's not. So have a couple of exercises that you're really just going to be cohesively progressing. Now listen, this split that I have just explained to you, that second day, so workout B, the bro day, should be done with muscles that you think are lagging. So if you think that your rear delts are lagging, or your front delts are lagging, or your certain parts of your back are lagging, isolate that part on that day. So if you have lagging side delts, that bro day should be prioritized on side delts. For me, it's arms and shoulders. So I have to prioritize the second day for arms and shoulders. If it's for you, let's say it's calves for you, bro. Isolate them fucking calves on that bro day. The bro day should be focused on the muscles that you need to actually get up. That's very simple. So get the muscles up that you need to get up on the bro day. And the day number one is basically going to be a full upper body day where you're going to be training everything except for isolation. Second day, all isolation on lagging areas. Third day, full lower body day, and then repeat the process again and again and again. Now, if you want to basically get a full program like this yourself and you want to write it yourself alongside with me, go to the link in the description. I'll hold your hand. You'll basically write this program for yourself to progress with it, and you'll make gains in 2025. And as always, make the sacrifice and stay resilient.